now. But to talk about the rest of what's in the bill, joining me now is the Pennsylvania Democratic Senator Bob Casey. He's a member of the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, as well as the Finance Committee. Senator, good morning to you. Good to see you.
Ali, great to be with you. Thank you.
Let's talk about this bill. You've called it a game changer for the nation. What in this bill is so monumental, given that we were talking for so many months about the more expansive predecessor, the Build Back Better bill?
Well, Ali, I think when you start with the climate change provisions, those alone are a game changer in this sense. Because of this legislation, we're going to be able to reduce emissions by 40% by 2030. We've got goals, obviously, for 2030 on climate change, push back against it, and then 2050. But to have that kind of reduction in emissions in such a short time frame is going to be a really substantial win for the American people. So that's one. But then the prescription drug provisions that you mentioned, it does at least two things. It does a number of things, but it first of all empowers and caps. It empowers Medicare to negotiate for lower prices, and it caps Medicare beneficiaries' out-of-pocket costs at $2,000 a year. So these are initiatives that people have been working on for years, and we're going to be able to do this in one bill. So when you look at it overall, it lowers costs for families when it comes to energy and prescription drugs, and then it also reduces the threat of climate change while reducing the deficit all in one bill.
Now, Republicans have launched a series of attacks on the bill, claiming that it's going to raise taxes for the middle class. Tell me about those allegations and what the explanation is for them.
Well, everyone knows those allegations are false because here, Republicans are worried about two things. They're worried that the American people who have been cut out of these deals because powerful interests usually get their way, they know that the big companies, whether it's big drug companies or major corporations, are not going to get their way this time. And Republicans are worried about that because they're their big donors. The second thing they're worried about, I think, is the contrast. When they had their majority, they rammed through a tax bill that jacked up the debt because they wanted to give lavish benefits, permanent tax relief to big companies, and give away the store to rich people. That's what they did with their majority. With our majority, we're lowering prescription drug costs, pushing back on climate change, and in the rescue plan, we helped to get our schools open and gave families a huge benefit with the child tax credit. That's what we did with our majority. They did something different.
You know, a lot of Americans are going to hear this stuff and they're going to think about where they'll benefit, maybe retrofitting their home, maybe buying a used car. The cost of cars has gone up, so the idea that there's a credit for buying used EVs or hybrid vehicles. But the prescription drug thing may be the single biggest thing in here that people are going to feel. This has been a ridiculous situation we've had in the United States for decades, where Canada can negotiate the price of its drugs, the UK can negotiate the price of its drugs, but Medicare has not been able to.
Yeah, you're right. People have been fighting this battle for years. We're finally going to have a breakthrough on that. It'll start in 2023, where we'll start with the 10 highest costing drugs that will be the subject of negotiation. That number will go to 20 a few years later. So this is a huge breakthrough. To give you one example, just in Pennsylvania, Ali, in Pennsylvania, more than 73,000 Medicare beneficiaries pay more than $2,000 a year out-of-pocket costs. Just imagine that many people in one state paying more than $2,000. So it's a great breakthrough. I'd also mention the Affordable Care Act subsidies. That'll be extended, and that's a great benefit to people who gain the value of having insurance, but would be knocked off of the insurance they have.
Senator, let's talk. I'm here talking about abortion in Alabama. This is a complicated issue. For the foes of abortion rights in this country, they fall into a couple of categories. Some people who, because of their faith or their history or beliefs, don't like the idea of abortion, and some who are bad faith actors, and I don't really know what motivates them. You have come out in support of federal abortion rights protections, but that is something that you've evolved into. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, Ali, first, when you look at the results in Kansas, I think it shows where most Americans are, kind of across the board, which is we've reached a point in the debate on this issue about whether or not you want to be in favor of policy that bans abortion, and in a lot of states it will be almost a complete ban, or whether you don't want to do that. And I think that's kind of the question that so many Americans are faced with. And as a legislator, that's kind of the question I was faced with. Do you want to support a policy where most abortions, because of the decision, but then also because Republicans, they're not satisfied with just a Supreme Court decision. They want to go further. Their official position now is to support legislation that would impose a nationwide ban. So it doesn't matter what state you live in, they want to impose that ban on the whole country. I think most Americans, the overwhelming percentage of Americans and Pennsylvanians, don't want a ban on abortion like they're contemplating. So I think that's the question not only for me, but it's the question most Americans face.
Senator, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Democratic Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania. All right.